Every morning in the Miller household began with something wrong. Not bloody, not violent, just wrong. The kind of wrong that prickles at the back of your neck because you know it shouldn't be possible. The first morning, the cereal boxes were stacked into a tower that reached the ceiling. The second, every picture frame in the house had been turned backward against the wall. Then came the spoons bent into perfect spirals. And later, long muddy streaks on the hallway walls, finger-thin, stretching from the children's bedrooms to the front door. At first, the family laughed. They blamed sleepwalking or some prank the kids were pulling. But the laughter didn't last. The patterns became more deliberate, the shapes more intricate, spirals and circles that looked less like accidents and more like messages. The parents tried everything. They locked doors. They hid toys. They set up cameras in every room. But every morning, the same thing, static filling the footage between 2:07 and 2:12 5 minutes missing. And when the picture returned, the work was already done. No figures, no movement, just silence and impossible arrangements left behind. The mother finally suggested a psychologist. Maybe the kids were doing it in their sleep. Maybe they were acting out something they couldn't explain. The father agreed. At least that would make sense. So they went. The kids were sat down, crayons pushed across the desk, and the doctor leaned forward, his voice calm. "Why don't you draw me what you've been seeing at night?" And without hesitation, both children began sketching. They drew tall figures, thin too thin, skin like parchment, sickly, their arms long, fingers bending wrong, faces hollow, except for the eyes. Huge, black, reflective eyes, watching, always watching. Around the figures they drew spirals, symbols, bent shapes. So it was the kids all along? The father asked, almost relieved. The psychologist shook his head slowly. Not exactly. Children sometimes act out in strange ways. But these drawings, he tapped the paper with one finger. They're too consistent, too precise. They're not inventing. He paused. His voice dropped. They're remembering. And both children, smiling faintly, now looked up from their drawings. Their voices came together, soft and eerie, like a chant. They come while you sleep. The room went still. The Millers never set up the cameras again. They never spoke about the drawings, but every morning, the symbols still return, because the visitors are patient, and one day they won't leave at dawn.